For more than 2 centuries, Oak Island has remained one of the most enduring mysteries on Earth. This small patch of land off the coast of Nova Scotia, Canada, has drawn treasure hunters, scholars, adventurers, and storytellers from every corner of the world. Legends claim that buried deep below its surface lies an immense fortune: pirate gold, ancient relics, or perhaps secrets left behind by powerful secret societies. Across generations, countless explorers have spent fortunes chasing this dream, yet the island has always refused to give up its secrets. Mysterious shafts, wooden platforms, strange tunnels, and unexplained carvings have turned Oak Island into a puzzle that defies easy answers. For decades, many dismissed the story as little more than a myth. But now, everything has changed. Something extraordinary has been uncovered, something valued at more than $120 million, and it may alter history as we know it. The modern chapter of this story begins with two brothers, Rick and Marty Lagina. Rick's fascination began at just 11 years old when he read a magazine article about Oak Island's legendary money pit and tales of hidden pirate treasure. That single article planted a dream in his mind, a promise that one day he would set foot on Oak Island and solve its riddle. Marty, the younger brother, was more practical. A successful businessman, he wasn't as enchanted by myths, but he saw Oak Island as a challenge worth pursuing. Rick brought the passion, Marty brought the resources and strategy, and together they embarked on a journey that would consume much of their lives. What started as a childhood fascination soon grew into one of the world's most ambitious treasure hunts. Their mission drew the attention of engineers, historians, scientists, and eventually television producers. Millions of viewers followed their progress on screen as year after year they searched, drilled, and dug, chasing the mystery beneath Oak Island's soil. It was never easy. Equipment failed, shafts collapsed, and tunnels flooded without warning. But even in failure, there were clues: old coins, strange artifacts, wooden platforms, and evidence of underground booby traps meant to keep treasure hunters away. Piece by piece, the evidence suggested that Oak Island wasn't just a story. Someone had gone to incredible lengths to bury something there. As the years passed, the discoveries became stranger. At Smith's Cove and the Garden Shaft, they uncovered intricate wooden structures as if guarding a hidden vault. Metallic objects engraved with strange markings surfaced, symbols that didn't belong to any known tool or culture. Then came perhaps the most thrilling clue: an ancient map, covered in odd symbols, strange drawings, and pirate-like inscriptions. To Rick, this was the breakthrough he had waited for. If the team could decode the map, it might finally point them to the exact location of the treasure. With each new clue, the legends of infamous pirates resurfaced. Captain William Kidd, one of the most feared pirates of the 17th century, was rumored to have hidden a vast fortune before his capture. Testimonies from his crew described elaborate traps and wooden barriers to guard the loot, features eerily similar to Oak Island's tunnels. Blackbeard, another legendary pirate, once declared that his treasure was hidden where none but Satan and myself can find it. Many believe that his boast pointed directly to Oak Island. Could it be that both men left their fortune buried here? The possibility electrified Rick and Marty's team, but Oak Island is as dangerous as it is mysterious. Just when they seemed on the verge of a breakthrough, disaster struck. Flood tunnels filled excavation sites with water. Old shafts collapsed without warning. Expensive machinery broke down in the most critical moments. It was as though the island itself was protecting its secrets. Some crew members even swore they heard strange noises echoing through the tunnels, unexplained whispers, ghostly sounds that deepened the sense of unease. The turning point came when the team brought in advanced technology, sonar scans, radar mapping, and deep drilling. The scans revealed large metallic signatures buried far below the surface. One reading was so massive that Rick became convinced they were finally about to uncover the treasure that had eluded so many before them. Hope surged, but so did the risks. The deeper they dug, the more unstable the ground became. Marty worried for the team's safety, but Rick was determined. They had come too far to walk away now. And then
It happened. After years of relentless searching, their perseverance paid off. Beneath layers of earth and stone, a faint glimmer appeared. At first, it was only a sparkle, but soon golden objects emerged, coins, jewelry, and precious artifacts that had been buried for centuries. The team could barely contain their emotions. Rick, overcome with tears, realized his lifelong dream was finally real. Marty, usually calm and pragmatic, stood speechless as centuries of legend suddenly became fact before his eyes. But the celebration was short-lived. Almost immediately, government officials appeared on the island. Their sudden arrival stunned everyone. Cameras were shut off. The team was ordered to halt digging at once. More disturbingly, several of the most mysterious items, ancient maps, coded documents, and artifacts with strange inscriptions were seized and taken away. The explanation was vague, dismissed as an issue of national security. For Rick and Marty, it was a crushing blow. What should have been the greatest moment of their lives turned into confusion and silence. News of the discovery made headlines around the world, but the full story never reached the public. Reports mentioned gold and silver, but not the confiscated documents or artifacts. Social media exploded with speculation. Some were sure Captain Kidd's fortune had been found. Others believed it was Blackbeard's. But a growing suspected something even bigger, that the treasure was tied to powerful organizations like the Knights Templar, the Vatican, or secret brotherhoods who had hidden wealth and knowledge too dangerous to reveal. Online debates erupted everywhere. Twitter threads, Reddit theories, YouTube breakdowns. Some users claimed to have leaked photos of artifacts, while skeptics dismissed it all as hype. Memes went viral, turning Rick's quiet awe and Marty's outrage into internet jokes. But behind the noise, one chilling question remained. What was really found beneath Oak Island, and why did the government move so quickly to cover it up? What insiders whispered later was even more shocking. Alongside gold and jewels, the team had uncovered sealed chests filled with scrolls and documents. Written in ancient languages and strange codes, the paper spoke of empires, hidden societies, and maps of places that didn't match modern geography. If authentic, these scrolls could rewrite world history. Rick saw it clearly. This was bigger than treasure. This was forbidden knowledge. The discovery only deepened the mystery. Strange activity was soon reported around Oak Island, unmarked boats at night, shadowy figures on the shore, equipment mysteriously sabotaged. It seemed forces beyond their control didn't want Rick and Marty to succeed. But the brothers pressed on. Using deeper scans, they discovered signs of even larger chambers underground. Oak Island wasn't just hiding treasure, it was layered with history, like a vault protecting secrets meant to stay buried. When the team uncovered an ancient stone chamber filled with knightly relics, ornate crosses, jeweled daggers, and medieval armor, it confirmed what many had long suspected. The treasure wasn't pirate loot at all. It was European, centuries old, proof that transatlantic voyages had taken place long before Columbus. Oak Island's secret wasn't just about gold. It was about rewriting the history of civilization. For Rick, the discovery was life-changing. Oak Island was never only about riches, it was about truth. For Marty, even as he focused on the staggering financial value, there was no denying it anymore. They were holding evidence that could challenge governments, rewrite textbooks, and alter everything we thought we knew about the past. The discovery of the underground chamber was a moment that took everyone's breath away. For years, people had laughed at the idea that Oak Island held anything more than old wood and rocks. But now Rick and Marty stood inside a hidden vault filled with undeniable proof. The walls told a story through carvings and symbols, the kind of markings that only had one purpose: to protect secrets. These weren't the scratches of random workers, they were deliberate, planned, and meant to last for centuries. The relics inside were beyond imagination. Golden coins glittered under the lights, their designs showing emblems from old European kingdoms. Ancient swords and daggers, still sharp despite their age, were decorated with jewels that sparkled like stars. Crosses, chalices, and ornate religious objects suggested a connection to powerful groups from history. Every artifact whispered of voyages, battles, and secrets too valuable to leave unguarded. The team moved carefully, documenting each discovery. Rick's hands trembled as he held a jeweled cross, feeling the weight of history in his palms. Marty, though always the one to focus on practicality, couldn't hide his amazement. These were not the spoils of random pirates. This was treasure with purpose. It belonged to men who wanted to hide something greater than wealth. Among the treasures, a small stone tablet caught Rick's attention. Covered in strange symbols, it looked like a key or a guide. The carvings matched the same markings found on the scrolls discovered earlier. When compared side by side, they seemed to form part of a larger code, perhaps instructions to unlock an even bigger secret. The possibility shook everyone. Could it be that Oak Island was just one chapter of a much larger story? As they studied the vault, a heavy silence filled the air. Everyone realized they were standing in front of history that had been hidden on purpose. And with that realization came danger. Rick reminded the team of the strange figures, the tampered machines, and the government's sudden intervention the first time treasure was found. He feared that whoever had built these vaults had powerful protectors, even today. The brothers debated their next step. Marty was concerned that going public would bring more interference, possibly even losing everything again. Rick, on the other hand, argued that the truth was too important to remain buried. The world deserved to know what was hidden beneath Oak Island, even if it came at a price. Before a decision could be made, something unexpected happened. While clearing debris from one corner of the chamber, a worker uncovered another sealed entrance, hidden behind a wall of stone. It was smaller, almost like a tunnel, blocked by layers of earth. The excitement surged through the group once more. If one vault had revealed such treasures, what could lie behind this hidden passage? The team wasted no time. Tools were brought in, the stones were carefully removed, and slowly the entrance to the tunnel was revealed. The air that escaped was stale, untouched for hundreds of years. They knew they were about to be the first people in centuries to set foot inside. What they found inside the tunnel was unlike anything they had seen before. Instead of more treasure, the tunnel led to a hidden chamber filled with scrolls, tablets, and chests of documents. These weren't riches of gold and silver. They were riches of knowledge. Maps, diagrams, and writings filled the room, preserved in sealed cases. Some of the maps showed coastlines that didn't match modern geography, while others displayed routes stretching across oceans to lands far away. Experts later confirmed that some documents referenced lost civilizations, hidden societies, and even artifacts of spiritual importance. It was evidence that Oak Island was never just about money. It was a library, a vault meant to preserve knowledge and power across generations. Rick was overwhelmed. He realized his childhood dream had taken him farther than he ever imagined. The island wasn't just a place of treasure. It was a link to secrets buried by history itself. Marty, though cautious, finally admitted that his brother had been right all along. Oak Island wasn't just a story. It was real, and its secrets could change the world. But with discovery came the greatest challenge of all: how to protect it. The air inside the chamber grew heavier the deeper they went. Dust clung to their clothes, and the faint smell of stale air got thicker with each step. Of old parchment lingered all around. The team carefully opened a chest and revealed scrolls wrapped in wax-coated cloth, still intact after centuries underground. Each scroll carried markings and scripts that seemed to come from different cultures, Latin phrases, Greek letters, strange symbols that looked almost Egyptian. The discovery sent shivers down everyone's spine. This wasn't the work of simple pirates. Whoever hid these documents wanted to safeguard knowledge from multiple civilizations, as though Oak Island was chosen to be a secret library far from the chaos of Europe and the Old World. Rick's voice cracked as he whispered, "This changes everything." He wasn't thinking about riches anymore. To him, they were holding fragments of forgotten history, proof that travelers had crossed oceans long before textbooks claimed, proof that secrets of power and religion had been hidden away, far from the eyes of kings and empires. Marty, though practical as ever, couldn't deny the importance. He rubbed his forehead, trying to process it all. If this gets out, governments, corporations, secret groups, they'll all want control. We won't be able to stop them. For the first time, the entire team agreed to take a different approach. Instead of rushing to announce their find, they documented everything in private. Photographs were taken, notes were written, and digital scans were made. This time, they wouldn't allow outside forces to erase their work. But their caution didn't guarantee safety. Strange events began happening again. Boats appeared at night, drifting silently near the shore before vanishing. Tools left at the dig site were mysteriously damaged or misplaced. Even worse, some of the team reported feeling like they were being watched. It was as if someone knew exactly what they were uncovering and wanted to scare them into stopping. One evening, while reviewing the translated scrolls, Rick stumbled upon something that froze him in his tracks. A set of diagrams seemed to describe not just Oak Island, but a network of hidden sites spread across the world. The symbols matched the carvings found on the chamber walls, forming what looked like a coded map. The message was clear. Oak Island was not the only vault. It was part of something much bigger. The realization shook everyone. If this was true, then their discovery wasn't just about Nova Scotia. It was about a global network of hidden treasures, knowledge, and relics scattered across continents. The scrolls hinted at sacred objects, powerful artifacts, and lost manuscripts buried in secret vaults from Europe to the Middle East. Oak Island was simply one piece of the puzzle. "This is only the beginning," Rick repeated, his voice calm but filled with awe. Marty stared at the map in disbelief. "If this gets out, it won't just be treasure hunters coming after us. It'll be entire governments." The brothers knew they had reached a crossroads. Should they risk everything and reveal the truth to the world? Or should they guard the secrets, continuing their work in silence? Either choice carried consequences. The danger became clearer when the government returned. Officials arrived on the island again, this time not with force, but with warnings. They told Rick and Marty that what they had found belonged to history, and that interference could cause international problems. The vague language only made things worse. Why would ancient scrolls hidden underground cause modern governments to panic? The brothers exchanged uneasy glances. Rick believed the officials were hiding the fact that Oak Island connected to powerful organizations from the past, perhaps even the Knights Templar, who were rumored to have escaped persecution in Europe and carried their secrets across the Atlantic. The artifacts they found fit the Templar story too well. Jeweled crosses, knightly relics, and coded maps. Despite the pressure, Rick and Marty refused to back down. The treasure was too important, the truth too large to remain buried. They decided to push deeper into the tunnels, convinced there were still secrets waiting to be uncovered. What they didn't realize was that every step forward was leading them closer to the most dangerous discovery yet, one that could shake the foundations of history, religion, and power across the world. The next stage of the dig was unlike anything the team had attempted before. They reinforced the tunnels, brought in advanced scanners, and drilled deeper into the earth. The readings coming back were unlike anything they had seen. Massive metallic signals, stone structures, and what looked like entire chambers carved by human hands centuries ago. Every discovery pointed to the same conclusion. Oak Island wasn't a random burial ground. It was designed as a fortress. Whoever built it had gone to incredible lengths to protect whatever lay beneath. Flood tunnels, booby traps, collapsing shafts. Everything was engineered to stop intruders. As the drills broke through another layer of stone, the team uncovered a chamber even larger than the one before. The walls were carved with crosses and symbols identical to those used by the Knights Templar. For Rick, this was confirmation. The treasure wasn't just pirate gold. It was connected to one of the most mysterious and powerful groups in history. Inside the chamber lay more than gold bars and jewels. The team found relics that seemed straight out of legends. Ornate chalices, gilded manuscripts, and an object that many believed could only be the Holy Grail itself. Rick stared at the relic in stunned silence, whispering, "We found what they tried to hide from the world." Marty, though awestruck, felt a chill. He knew treasures like these weren't just valuable, they were dangerous. If word spread that the Grail or other sacred relics were hidden on Oak Island, chaos would follow. Nations, religious orders, and secret organizations would stop at nothing to claim them. The deeper they searched, the clearer the picture became. The scrolls and maps discovered earlier hinted at more than just the Templars. They referenced other groups, the Rosicrucians, ancient Middle Eastern dynasties, and even lost civilizations whose names had been erased from history. Oak Island, it seemed, was not just a vault. It was a crossroads, a hidden library of treasures and manuscripts buried from groups from across the world.